Welcome to 10.3 Economics Management Sciences, EMS, okay? And for this term, we are going to start with lesson number 10 on page 59 of your textbook. Lesson number 10, page 59 of your textbook. Okay, and we are going to be looking at businesses, okay? The learning aims for this lesson, at the end of this lesson, you must be able to distinguish between formal and informal business. So, which means you will be able to tell the difference between formal and informal business. You must be able to identify the difference between trade, production, and service business. So, you must tell the difference between trading business, production business, and service business. You must be able to discuss the benefits or the advantages and disadvantages of formal and informal business. You must understand the role of formal and informal businesses as producers and consumers. You must also understand the effect of natural disasters and epidemics on formal and informal business. Okay. So we start with the first paragraph there. You can open your textbook as well as you listen to the video so that you can follow. All of us have visited businesses to buy certain goods and services. There are many different types of businesses. Some are so small that they are run by one person who sells things out of a suitcase, or sell things out of a plastic bag, or sell things out of a card box. Others are so big that they are run by many people and they employ thousands of workers. Because there are so many different types of businesses, it is difficult to discuss them all. We will then divide them, therefore, into two main types, namely formal business and informal business. Okay, then paragraph 10.1, we start. Now we know that we are going to differentiate the businesses into formal and informal business. A formal business conducts its business in the formal sector. Okay, let's start. A formal business conducts its business in the formal sector. It is registered with the government and pays tax to the South African Revenue Services, which is SARS. If I ask you to define the formal business, you will say that a formal business conducts its business in the formal sector. That's 1 point. It is registered with the government. That's 2 point. And the formal business pay tax to the South African Revenue. That's 3 marks for your definition of the formal business. Formal businesses are subject to legislation and regulated by the Department of Labor. This means that the workers on the formal business, they are protected and regulated by the Department of Labor. Example of formal businesses include companies such as Checkers, Pick and Pay, Macro, etc. Unlike formal businesses, now we go to informal businesses. There starts the definition for informal business. Informal business are active in the informal sector. Okay, so this is the same. You can say informal business conduct its business in the informal sector. Informal businesses are not registered with the government and do not pay tax. This is 3 marks for the definition of informal businesses. Informal businesses are active in the formal sector, 1 point. Informal businesses are not registered with the government, 2 points. And they do not pay tax, that's 3 points. Workers in such businesses are also not protected by the Department of Labor. Remember, in the formal business, we say workers are protected and regulated by the Department of Labor. However, in the informal business, workers are not protected by the Department of Labor. Example of informal business include hawkers, street vendors, car guards, and flea markets. That is on page 59 of your textbook. So if there's anything that you must take from this page, is the two types of businesses, formal business and informal business. And you must know the definition of the formal business, which is the 3 points. And you must be able to list the examples of formal business. Again, you must also know how to define the informal business, the 3 points, right? And you must tell me, are they protected by Department of Labor or not, the workers of these businesses? And you must be able to list the examples of the informal business. Okay. Now, can we distinguish the difference between formal business and informal business? We can distinguish between the formal and informal sectors. The formal sector includes all economic activities by individual and businesses which are registered and pay tax. The informal sector is complex and difficult to define as it is not regulated by government. People who are unemployed or who are unskilled usually work in the informal sector to make a living. The table in page 61, they say the table below shows the difference between the formal and the informal sector. Okay, now we come to page 61. I also need you to know this table. The table tells the differences between the formal sector and the informal sector. Okay, let's go through them. The formal sector, businesses can be big or small. In the informal sector, businesses are normally small. Formal sector, businesses follow certain policies and procedures. Informal sector, businesses do not have official procedures or documents according to which they trade. Formal sector, bookkeeping is done to keep financial records of the business's financial affairs. Informal sector, businesses are not registered with the South African Revenue Services, SARS, and they do not pay tax. And the formal sector businesses are registered with the SARS and pay tax. Okay, businesses have fixed address and contact details on the formal sector. On the informal sector, the business do not have access to national and international resources. However, in the formal businesses, they do have access to national and international resources. What is important about this table, you have to align the similar differences. Like this one refers to the size. Business can be big or small. Here, businesses are small, okay? And here, businesses follow certain policies and procedures. Here, businesses do not have official procedures or documents according to which they trade. I will skip this one because there's nothing matching on this other side. So I will say businesses are registered with the South African Revenue Services, SARS, and pay tax on this formal sector. And I will say businesses are not registered with the South African Revenue Services and they do not pay tax. And I will continue. I will skip this one because it doesn't have a matching partner. Then I will say business have access to national and international resources. This one, business do not have access to national and international resources. Okay. So if you want to add one this side, you can say, look at this bookkeeping one. You say bookkeeping is done to keep financial records. And here you can say bookkeeping may not be done to keep financial records. And also with this one, business have fixed address and contact details. This one, you can say business does not have fixed, or business may not have fixed address because they can be selling from the car or from the back or something like that. Okay, so you need to know this table of differences between formal sector and informal sector. Okay, now we look at 10.2, and we are looking at type of businesses. A business is a shop or company that exchange goods or services for money. There are three different types of businesses. We have producers and manufacturers. These are businesses that grow and make things. Okay. Producers and manufacturers, they are businesses that grow and make things. They use natural resources or raw material to produce or manufacture goods. Then they sell these goods to retailers who sell the goods to consumers. We have trading business. These are businesses such as retailers that buy goods from producers or manufacturers and sell these goods to consumers at a profit. Trading business, these are the businesses such as retailers that they buy goods from producers or manufacturers and then sell these goods to consumers at a profit. And lastly, we have service business. Service business sell their knowledge and their skills to consumers who want them to perform their services. For example, a doctor or a plumber. Please note, a doctor is not a definition of a service business. If they ask you to define the service business, you say service business sell their knowledge is a business that sell their knowledge and their skills to consumers who want them to perform a service. Okay. Only if they ask you for the example of a service business, you say a doctor. From this page, you must know the differences between the formal sector and informal sector. Now, and also you must know the three types of businesses, and you must know how to define them. Okay. So I will leave this topic here because I want you to be able to go and study from the two classification of businesses, which is formal and informal business, the definition of formal and informal business, and after that, you must be able to give me the examples of formal and informal business, and you must be able to give me the difference between formal sector and informal sector. Okay, and then you must be able to give me the type of businesses and define them. Okay.